This is Mystery Babylon Unveiled, Lucifer the Queen of Heaven, Chapter 18, Babylon is fallen, is fallen. In the time of the end, I believe there will be a deconstruction of the three main religions based on the Bible. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, as institutions, will be manipulated into acting as destructive forces, each convinced of their own righteousness that will force people to either remain faithful to them or abandon them. It would also be widely believed that these religions were built on lies, and for the most part they were. Babylon has controlled what the world knows as Christianity since Constantine had his supposed conversion experience. All of these major religions are under her control, and once the restrainer is removed, 2 Thessalonians 2:7, Lucifer will make her big move to put herself back on top as the supreme deity. It's the goddess who will unite all the religions of the world under three key principles. Scrolling down here. Number 1. God is one with creation, meaning the force is in everyone and everything. Number 2. Creation is sacred, meaning Gaia becomes the face of God. Number 3. YHWH, the God of the Old Testament, is Satan, and Jesus Christ is just a Messiah, not the Messiah. There will be some slight variations in how this list is expressed, but for the most part, these will be the key points of agreement. Gaia will be present under one or more names. Mary, Sophia, Shekinah, or Shakti, Kali. She will be the bridge between religions and the bridge between God and man. As Thomas Schlipfinger explains in Sophia Maria, understanding Sophia as the link between the world's religious traditions points to the significance of their relationship. She is the world soul and the mother of creation, the source of all wisdom teaching, and the inspiration behind conceptions of the divine or feminine divine, and the mediating link to universal salvation through Jesus Christ. She is the mother, and the world traditions are her children. She binds them together into one family. Page 371. One recurring theme that you may notice is the presence of a fallen, exiled, or lost female spirit or goddess. In Gnosticism, Sophia fell from the pleroma, or the fullness, the spiritual realm where the emanations of God, known as aeons, dwell. Aeons are incorrectly called angels by Gnostic so-called Christians. Scrolling to the next page. Here we have an image of a Masonic art, of course. Let me scroll up, zoom out. The caption is Masonic Chart with Code and Prayer, published by Humphreys, 1846. Without getting into too much commentary, I just wanted to show again the importance of the divine feminine, who by now, if you have watched previous chapters, you know is Lucifer. Going down to the next page. Sophia saw the Father Spirit and desired to create like him. She wanted to be like the Most High. In her ambition, she tried to create from herself, and she caused herself to fall out of the higher and spiritual realm. Her spirit became the world soul, or anima mundi, also known as Gaia. She is the fallen and lost light. A similar fate happens to Shekinah in Kabbalistic Judaism, as Deanne Loper lays out. The female Shekinah, now separated from the masculine, descends into exile, destroying the dream of God. The very core of reality is God's shattered dream, waiting for us to pick up the pieces of the divine sparks. It is humankind, not the angels, who can pick it up and reveal it. That the infinite light, Shekinah, is everywhere is the axiom of the Kabbalah, held captive within every object, even within evil itself. 51, page 51. Stephen Heller, author of Gnosticism, A New Light on the Ancient Tradition of Inner Knowing, explains the role that Sophia played in the Garden of Eden. The hypostasis of the archons informs us that not only Eve but also the serpent was inspired and guided by the divine Sophia. Sophia allowed her wisdom to enter the serpent, who thereby became a teacher and then taught Adam and Eve about their true source. They came to understand that they were not lowly beings created by the demiurge, in this case the creator in the Genesis story, but rather that their spiritual selves had originated beyond this world in the fullness of the ultimate Godhead. Page 28 and 29. In the hypostasis of the archon, Sophia's spirit is in both Eve and the serpent at different times, and not only them but also the tree. The woman of spirit came to him and spoke with him, saying, Rise, Adam. And when he saw her, he said, It is you who have given me life. You will be called Mother of the Living, for she is my mother. She is the physician and the woman, and she has given birth. The princes said to one another, Come, let us sow our seed in her. And they pursued her. And she laughed at them for their foolishness and blindness. In their clutches she became a tree. Then the female spiritual presence came in the form of the snake, the instructor, and it taught them, saying, What did he say to you? Was it, next page, From every tree in the garden shall you eat, but from the tree of recognizing evil and good do not eat? The woman of flesh, Eve, said, Not only did he say, Don't eat, but even don't touch it, for the day you eat from it, you will surely die. The snake, the instructor, said, It is not the case that you will surely die, for out of jealousy he said this to you. Rather, your eyes will open, and you will be like gods, recognizing evil and good. And the female instructing power was taken away from the snake, and she left it behind, merely a thing of the earth. As I have explained already, the serpent has been a symbol of the goddess from the time when there were no male pagan gods worshipped on the earth. The serpent, as a symbol for wisdom, is the avatar of the wisdom goddess Sophia. They are forever intertwined. While there are some differences in narratives, the general Gnostic idea is that Sophia is the mother of the material world. As Stephen A. Heller writes of Sophia, after having fallen from the higher realm, the pleroma, among the higher spiritual beings called aeons. I'm going to scroll down here. The lower Sophia, Achamoth, an anagram of Chokmah, the Hebrew name for wisdom, struggles in her alienated condition. She grieves and rages. She sorrows and longs for her original estate. In her distress, she manifests or emanates powers that eventually condense into the building blocks of the material universe. She also produces a hybrid form of consciousness, a lion-headed monstrous being who had become the demiurge, YHWH, also known as Yaldabaoth, Saklas, and Samael, the artificer of the created world. Page 40. In Gnosticism, Sophia is an emanation of God. Think of an emanation as a branch of a tree. It's not the tree trunk who is God, but it's still the tree. Sophia falls and the divinity within her becomes the divine spark. That is in the material world, and consequently the demiurge, YHWH, that she gave birth to. While some narratives say that Sophia became the earth, others say that her son, YHWH, made the earth using Sophia's power that was within him. When her son, the demiurge, breathed into Adam, and after forming him in the garden, he inadvertently breathed Sophia's divine spark into him. Sophia, through the serpent, tried to reveal to Adam and Eve their true divine nature. Scrolling down, the demiurge was not happy about that. John Lash, a Gnostic teacher who has a strong disdain for the truth of the Bible, wrote in his book, Not in His Image, "The demiurge of the Old Testament is an arrogant, demented pretender who claims that humans are made in his image. These four words are the corporate," rolling down, "motto of patriarchy, branded on the human soul. Made in his image signifies the total enslavement of humanity to an alien, off-planet agenda." Page 258. Scrolling out here, we see the divine feminine, Sophia, Isis, whatever you prefer to call her, Lucy, Lucifer, in between as the bridge between God and man. The caption says, "Macrocosm and Microcosm" by Tobias Schultz, 1654. This shows the goddess as the mediator between heaven and earth, God and man, and the infinite and the finite. Scrolling down. Christians or believers in the Bible who have already been compromised by unknowingly accepting Gnostic doctrine from wolves in sheep's clothing are in danger of completely falling in line with the unification of the faiths. Gnostic teachers claim that humans were once spiritual beings of light, or angels, to put it in biblical terms, and that our spirits got brought down from heaven by the demiurge and trapped in the darkness of flesh bodies. But while they say it was Satan who did it, the Gnostic text that they are teaching from identifies Satan as the God of the Bible, Yahweh. In Isis Unveiled, Blavatsky lays out the biblical faith in the mind of a theosophist. I'm going to scroll down. The theology of Christendom has been rubbed threadbare by the most serious minds of the day. It is found to be, on the whole, subversive rather than promotive of spirituality and good morals. Instead of expounding the rules of divine law and justice, it teaches but itself. In place of an ever-living deity, it preaches the evil one and makes him indistinguishable from God himself. "Lead us not into temptation" is the aspiration of Christians. Who then is the tempter? Satan? No, the prayer is not addressed to him. It is the Bible God of Israel. Our examination of the multitudinous religious faiths that mankind, early and late, have professed most assuredly indicates that they have all been derived from one primitive source. It would seem as if they were all but different modes of expressing the yearning of the imprisoned soul, of the imprisoned human soul, for intercourse with supernal spheres. Page 535. Scrolling down. Aldous Huxley, in A Perennial Philosophy, suggests that the fall in the Garden of Eden was not a violation of God's commandment to not eat from the forbidden tree, but the fall was a passage from the spiritual world into the material world of flesh bodies, falling from the infinite to the finite. To be adequate to our experience, the Genesis myth would have to be modified. It would have to make clear that creation, the incomprehensible passage from the unmanifested one into the manifest multiplicity of nature, from eternity into time, is not merely the prelude and necessary condition of the fall. To some extent, it is the fall. Page 182. Deanne Loper shares the similar Kabbalistic viewpoint on this, reinforcing that a separation from the divine source or the spiritual world is the true understanding of the fall. She says, in Kabbalah, the sin of Adam is not attributed to his disobedience to God and eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but is the premature separation of the unity of the Sephiroth tree. Page 50. Going down. Elaine Pagels, who wrote the Gnostic Gospels, spins the narrative that the early followers of the Way, or Christians, were in reality Gnostics. Like the New Agers, who would say that Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, was just another teacher or prophet, Elaine says that their can be many Christs. Whoever achieves gnosis becomes no longer a Christian but a Christ. We can see then that such Gnosticism was more than a protest movement against Orthodox Christianity, or more than a protest movement against Orthodox Christianity. Gnosticism also included a religious perspective that implicitly opposed the development of the kind of institution that became the early Catholic Church. Those who expected to become Christ themselves were not likely to recognize the institutional structures of the Church. From page 134. While I am not a member of the Catholic Church and I am against the institution of it, that doesn't mean I should turn to the opposite extreme and join the Luciferian Gnostics. Jesus Christ warned us about these type of deceivers. Scroll it down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Matthew 24, verse 3 through 4. Another common ground with these many religions is that they aim to unite all of humanity. Only the true biblical God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob calls for his children, Israelite and Gentile, to come out from the rest of the world and be separate. The world's mantra is, we're all connected. Led Zeppelin plays their instruments like the Pied Piper crying, all is one, one is all, in their song, Stairway to Heaven. They sing of a lady we all know who shines white light and wants to show that everything still turns to gold. That lady is Lucifer. She is the alma mater or virgin mother. She's the, scrolling down, girl with the sun in her eyes that the Beatles sang about in their song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. You can find this lawless woman Lucy in Hollywood, where they sell Californication. The mystery religion, the goddess religion, that was driven underground has been revitalized in the New Age and Gnostic doctrines that are being spread in books, through online teachers, and pushed by Hollywood and the entertainment industry. Because we have not been taught who Lucifer truly is, she has been able to operate with little resistance. But we should have known who is as subtle as a serpent but a woman. It's not about, scrolling down, strength, as Proverbs 7 verse 26 through 27 tells us. For she has cast down many wounded, yea, many strong men have been slain by her. No, I am not saying that women in general are evil. Please don't take the wrong message away from this book. I am only pointing out that women, by their nature, are more like the serpent. Merriam-Webster defines subtle as delicate, elusive, and difficult to understand or perceive. As the Bible warns us of the strange woman, her ways are movable, that thou canst not know them. Proverbs chapter 5 verse 6. The harlot is subtle of heart. Proverbs 7:10. The entertainment industry, through the divas, the high priestesses, as a host body, are literally performing rituals in which Mystery Babylon is being worshipped. This is what the Scarlet Woman or the Lady in Red comes down to. Now, the diva, meaning goddess, embodies Lucifer on earth. Worshipping her leads you to becoming drunken by the spirit of whoredoms. So here we have an image of Lilith by Kenyon Cox from 1891. And that is chapter 18. Sorry, I lose count. There's one chapter left. Chapter 19, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Mystery Babylon Unveiled, Lucifer the Queen of Heaven, brings to light Bible scriptures which prove that the one known as Satan, the devil, and Lucifer, is in fact a woman. It reveals how she is identified in the Bible as the Queen of Heaven and the great whore of Babylon. This book also brings forth incontrovertible historic evidence confirming that Lucifer was worshipped in the earliest recorded history as the Great Mother Goddess, and that she is still worshipped as such within the halls of secret societies today. Discover where the world's worship of the goddess began and where it is hidden within the pages of this book. Mystery Babylon Unveiled, Lucifer the Queen of Heaven is available in paperback and ebook at all online sellers. If your local bookstore or library doesn't carry this book, please request it. By doing so, you will help get the book onto more shelves. Mystery Babylon Unveiled, Lucifer the Queen of Heaven contains essential knowledge that all Christians should take hold of. It is an insightful and profound revealing of one of the greatest mysteries in the world.